And welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Michigan Football Film Study focused on the defense with Vance Bedford. This is when we break down the film. On this video, I tell you all the time, we don't own this footage. And because we don't own this footage, we don't make any money off of it. No sponsorship, no monetization. I say that at the beginning of every video so the copyright owners know that we are staying within the rules. We are not breaking the law, so there is no need to come after me. We are using this video strictly for the people, for your education, your entertainment, and your edification. And we know you appreciate Vance when he imparts that wisdom upon you. And that's what we're about to do right now as we dive into the film study. If you miss any of the film studies, you can always check them out on the YouTube page. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can support it that way. Or you can find us over on the MichiganInsider.com on the 24/7 Sports Network. $1 gets you in your first month. You get access not only to our videos and podcasts, but all of our written content on football, basketball, and recruiting, and also all of the content on any team site on the 24/7 Sports Network. So if you want to know about Texas, you want to know about Louisville, you want to know about LSU, you want to know about Florida, Ohio State, Georgia, you name it, you can find it out for $1 for the first month. And then once you get hooked, and you will, and you're in as a full paying member, you'll also get access to Paramount Plus. Vance Bedford, you saw this team put the clamps on Rutgers in the second half. I know that is not something a lot of people are impressed by, shutting down Rutgers, but when you add it to what Michigan has done in the prior 3 games, that's 4 games now where they've given up 3 second half points. This defense is playing at a high level.
They really are. I think they do a great job of making adjustments at halftime as far as taking certain things away. These are the things that are hurting us. Let's make these corrections. We saved this particular call for this situation. Let's get going. I looked at the first half. You look at Rutgers, they didn't really move the ball. I mean, I know we were down at halftime, but think about it. Let's get a block punt for a touchdown. They had maybe 2 good throws that got them down in position for a touchdown. Otherwise than that, the defense actually did a great job in the first half. And in the second half, it was just a total shutout. It's after the third quarter, it's like, it's time to go home, put your feet up on the table, have a cup of coffee, whatever you're going to do. But again, I thought the defense throughout the ball game, except for maybe 2 plays, did a great job. I think that defensive staff has done a great job with their personnel.
Yeah, so you call this blitz. You call it the rock blitz, and they're rocking opponents with the rock blitz, Vance, time and time again. I think you said, hey, man, you're going to see this from Michigan. You're going to get it. That doesn't mean that people that they can block it.
That is true. It's a great first down call, second medium call. Now, I just call it rock, something I had in the past that I ran with Greg Madison and Charlie Strong. And it's just a 4-man rush and running through the zone behind it. I mean, so as we let this here run, you see they're going to motion and form a 3-by-1 formation. This is really a zone read RPO type offense. So they doubling inside, kicking back. The back is diving in A gap. The quarterback has a read on this. He could give it, pull it, and throw it because you're getting a bubble by the back. In this particular situation, he's going to give the football. Okay, so it's a play we're going to see versus Ohio State. So let's get ready for that. Now, this rock blitz, what we're doing, anytime it's a 2-by-2 formation, the nickel back's coming off the edge. The front's going to angle back to the boundary for the defensive end in the B gap. The nose going to opposite A gap. The 3 technique is ripping B to C gap. And the defensive end, he steps to draw the block of the tackle. He's a fold player, a curl flat dropper. Okay, we're just playing true 3 zone behind it. You can see the safety to the field. He's coming down behind the nickel back, curl flat. The 2 inside linebackers are both hook curls. They are hash droppers. The outside back is dropping curl flat. We just run an old-fashioned cover 3, only rushing 4 guys, dropping 7. It is a great run stunt. It's great versus RPO and play action pass. So here we go. We're going to let this run. So we nickel off the edge. Quarterback, great job by the defensive end. He's going into the B gap. He missed the dive, but the backer, the great thing about this defense, that front side backer, he's unblocked. The nickel back going for the quarterback. He saw the ball give. He folds back over the top. Look at the backers. They unblocked. It's good defense. Good sound run defense. Good versus RPO. And this has been a staple this year. It was a staple last year also for Mike. So it's a good first down call. Great job by Mike, by nickelback off the edge, seeing a ball given. He folds back in, makes a nice play. Good call versus this particular style of play.
All right, and so this one has a partner, and you've done this for a couple weeks. If we gonna see the nickel rock, we're also gonna see backer rock.
Backer rock coming up next. So now,
Backer rock. Here we go.
and backer rock, the huddle call is probably nickel rock. But anytime there's three receivers out here, they change it to backer rock because you don't want the nickel back blitzing across the face of a linebacker. So this is an adjustment off of nickel rock, and I just call it backer rock because this is the adjustment off of it. So here we go with the call right now, backer rock. So let's see what we got. So again, they ran this play a bunch last year. This is a power read. So in other words, they block them back, down. The guard comes around for a linebacker. The quarterback, he's going to fake it to the back, going straight down the line of scrimmage. So it's a read by the quarterback. If everybody closes, he gives the ball to the back. If guys jump outside, he'll kick the ball and follow the guard inside. So this is a great call. They ran it quite a bit last year. But I think they ran it one time this game. And see it right here. It's a tackle for loss off a rock.
Mm-hmm.
You see it right here. You see the back coming straight down the line. The quarterback should be reading the defensive end. And this is a read play. And you get an RPO off of it. The tight end's trying to block our backer who's blitzing. His aim is to go to the hip of the quarterback. Okay. And again, the defensive end is in the B gap. The nose crosses the face of the center to the opposite A gap. The three technique is rip and B to C gap. And the standing defensive end is a curl flat dropper. Anytime it's run away, he'll fold back inside. So in other words, we're playing 3-4 defense. You line up in 4 down, this is really 3-4 defense on the move, which I love this scheme because I've been around it quite a bit. Okay.
So why? Let's get through the play first, and then I want you to talk me through why has this been such an effective blitz for them all season. It's not just one game, 2 games, 3 games, the whole season.
It was last year also. Okay, let's let it run. And behind it, we're playing old-fashioned 3 zone. So the corners are both deep outside third. You can see Mike, the nickelback, is now curl flat. The safety to the field is coming down. He's replacing the back because the back is blitzing. He replaces him and make him a hook curl dropper. The backside safety is deep middle third. So again, you can see how it matched up to the previous play in nickel rock. So we're just having a switch of responsibility between the nickel and the front side backer. They're saying, hey, you switch. It's too far for them to go. So you be a dropper and you go blitz for me. So they 2 guys just talking ball. That's all it is. It's like playing basketball. You cover my guy, I cover your guy. Hey, we all good. So here we go. Let it run. They run it. The tight end misses block. The back off the edge. It's a tackle for a loss. What a beautiful call. The end, because he's going in the B gap, there's no way for the quarterback to go. See, right now, look at in the back of the free. Look at the safety coming down. Number 19, he's free. We got more numbers than what they have because of movement. And the question you ask, what does it work? Because it's movement. So we'll line up in one alignment. When the ball is snapped, we go to a different alignment. So sometimes that confuses the blocking scheme because the offensive tackle, normally on that play, he's not going to block that defensive end blitzing because the defensive end blitzing the B gap, he had to take him, and that made a big pile. Bo Schembechler told me this a long time ago back in the 90s when I was coaching in Michigan. He said, for the defensive lineman, I want to give these guys a 3-way go. He said, sometimes they're going to angle left, sometimes they're going to angle right, sometimes they're going to go vertical. Now, all of a sudden, that offensive line slows down. They're not as aggressive because they don't know where the guy's going to be. That's why it works so well, because they have to sit back and wait for the defensive line to do something. All of a sudden, he's gone. Or the next play, he's hitting him right in the mouth. He give him a Mike Tyson overhand right, and he don't know what's going on. So that's why it works so well. And for the linebackers, they're always protected. So in other words, when the front moves, that linebacker now, he's protected to be free to the football. All he has to do is stack behind the slant and find the football. He should make a lot of plays in his defense.
Gotcha. All right. Now we can go back to where I was about to go before, and that's cover 4 versus RPO.
Okay, this is Ohio State. This is Ohio State right here. We got to get ready for it. So, cover 4 is quarters. So just let everybody know. I'm jumping ahead. I can't help myself. I get excited over here. So, in other words, both corners are deep quarters. The safety is the quarter. Here go the route. So it's play action pass. Play action pass. So just lead the route. So let's go to the boundary. You can see the outside receiver. He kind of jogs off the ball about anywhere from 3 to 5 yards and go inside. The next receiver, he's going to push vertical. He's looking for the open hole behind a linebacker. It could be a dig. It could be a post. It's somewhere around 10 to 12 yards deep. Okay. The back is diving inside, play action pass. To the field, you see a corner route, and you can see the outside guys doing a hitch route about 5 to 7 yards deep. This is a basic route that most teams are going to run. One side, we call it smash. To the boundary, we're going to call that drive, a high-low route. Mm-hmm. So now in quarters, we're going to go to the secondary next. Okay. Is that both corners, they're playing quarters. Okay, you're going to get to that. Oh, my bad. I'm getting ahead of myself. You can see where the ball is going to be thrown, where that highlight was. But to the secondary, the highlight is where the ball is going to be thrown. So I want people to focus on that once the route develops so you can see how it works. Okay. Now we're going to the defense. Okay, both corners, they're playing quarters technique. Now let's go to the boundary. See the linebacker sitting on about the 31-yard line outside number 2. He's a quarter flat technique. And what that means is this. He should reroute the number 2 receiver to take the speed off, and now he's a flat defender. He's already in his drop. But his number 1 job, anytime he's detached from being an inside linebacker, he needs to put his hands on that receiver so he can't just get down the field on that safety. See, that safety is a quarters player. Mm-hmm. He has no chance whatsoever if we don't slow down the speed of that receiver. So just think about it. You 10 to 12 yards deep, and you got that guy coming down the field at you. He can go anywhere. So his chances of success is going to be limited because the guy can run a post, he can run a dig or a corner route, has no help. Okay? Now, the next inside backer, he's going to be called a strong hook player. He relates to number 3. So if you count from outside in, let's go to the field. 1, 2, the back is 3. Therefore, he's going to drop over him to the field to the hook. Now, Mike, I put quarter flat / palms, and I'm looking at his alignment. So if they're playing like the back of quarter flat technique, he needs to reroute that slot. But because he's inside technique, that means the corner to that side, the safety to that side, and little Mike, they're going to pattern read the 2 receivers to the field. So if number 2 went to the flat, Mike would become a curl player, the corner would roll up, and the safety's over the top. But in this particular route, it didn't happen that way. So Mike has to expand all the way to number 1. The corner and the safety are take number 2 on the corner route. But the issue we have, Sam, is back to the boundary. This is Ohio State right now. Let's let it run. And again, my linebacker, he did nothing. He just killed some grass. He could have been in the stands eating popcorn, peanuts, and having a Coca-Cola. They're playing with 10 people. He hung the safety out to dry. The guy has no chance at all. I mean, if he had the right lottery ticket right now, he just lost that lottery ticket, can't get to $2.1 billion because he had no help. Okay, let's this $1 billion go down the tube right now. I mean, you see what he does? He does nothing. The safety has no chance. The safety has no chance, whatever, because the linebacker did nothing at all. He don't give himself a chance right now.
So he has to reroute that guy.
He has to put his hands on him to slow the speed down and help him out because the corner has a corner route because number 1 didn't go deep. So he has help outside. But still, that receiver, he's reading that safety. If the safety stays deep, he's going to find a hole and sit down around the hash mark. If the safety's going to sit down, he'll run right past him on the post pattern. That's why it's so important that linebacker takes the speed off the guy. He did absolutely nothing. Right now, Michigan playing with 10 people. My man should have been in the stands with a pom-pom. I mean, just raving that pom-pom. Go, go, go. Because what he's doing right now, nothing. He did absolutely nothing. I just call it as I see.
Hey, well, that young fellow, old fellow, 5th year senior, he went to the bench and got coached up because he got better from that point on.
He had a great game, but this particular play, and again, I'm looking down the line. People are going to break it down. So if I'm playing Michigan right now, I'm going to spread you out in 2 by 2. I'm trying to see what coverage you're in by how a guy's walking out, a guy's rolling down. I'm going to be in 2x2, emotion 2, 3x1. How are you going to adjust, those type of things. And again, you're going to see Ohio State. And Day at Ohio State, and he worked with Urban. Urban's base philosophy was he's going to be in 3x1 on first and second down 70% of the time. Why? You have to show your hand in your coverage. So watching Ryan Day's offense, he runs a lot of 3x1, or he motions to 3x1. Again, defensively, you got to show your hand coverage-wise, blitz-wise, those type of things.
All right, so explain that to the layperson. Why does that? Why do you have to show your hand?
Because anytime you get an overload formation, your safeties got to adjust, or your linebackers have to adjust. When you're in 2x2, it's a perfect disguise. The safeties can show quarters coverage all the time. You can roll a man-to-man. You can play 2 deep. You can play quarter, half. It doesn't show your hand. But anytime you get an overload offensive formation, everybody's going to show their hand right now, coverage-wise, and getting coverage responsibility. That's why you see nickel rock go to what? Back of rock. Mm-hmm. And that's part of it.
Gotcha. All right. Let's keep it rolling as we get into the second quarter of the game. Vance, get back to the telestrations. Here we got. I thought of you immediately.
This is to me, this is an alert. Okay, this is an alert for anybody anywhere you playing football right now. See, he's gonna put some numbers up there in a minute. Right. So we're gonna count from outside in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So now freeze it right there for me. That is a big, big alert for a possible sprint out pass. Man, I'm watching LSU and Alabama. Guess what they did to get that 2-point play? They went to sprint out pass. They went forward to that side. And now let's talk about the splits of number 1 to number 2. Look where they are. Pick alert. Then let's look at the tight end. You know the tight end's not going to motion. Why? Because his helmet is splitting the waist of that offensive tackle. That's telling you right now it's a good chance he's going to do what?
Block.
He's going to block. And look at the depth of the back. The back is even a little bit deeper, which means he's in position right now to gain depth on the sprint out pass to pin anybody that's blitzing right now. So again, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, cut splits by 1 and 2, alert sprint out pass. So for the fans looking at this now, you're getting a red zone or a third and short and medium situation, be alert for sprint out pass. Okay, let's.
Hey, is Ohio State got this in the toolkit?
Oh man, when I worked for Urban in Florida, we used to work on this in red zone all the time. What he would do, he would trade. He would start off in 2x2. He would trade the tight end to form an unbalanced line, and then motion the receiver so we'd have 5 guys over here, Sam, and run sprint out pass. So it's different ways to get to the situation. So that was a big play for Urban. So you get in the red zone versus Urban when he was at Ohio State and in Florida. This was short for a 2-point play or a crucial situation on a 3rd down or 4th down and 2 to 3. So don't be surprised if it raises his ugly head and say, here I am again. So I'm hoping that the Wolverines listen to this podcast. I'm going to talk some things, and I'm saying some things that Ohio State's saying too. So we need to make these corrections.
You're giving them the cheat code, Vance. Giving them the cheat code.
I'm just trying to help out. I'm saying, hey, let's go blue all the way. Let's win this conference again and get ready to win a national championship.
All right.
So now that's I like the 2 receivers. I'm going to talk about right now these 2 guys. Look at their splits. Okay, they're in pick alert right now. Mm-hmm. We talked about 4 strong already. Sprint out pass alert. 1 and 2 to cut their splits down. Again, you can see the routes. Number 1, he's going to run right at little Mike. He's going to stop for a count, and then he's going to go out. But he's trying to pick Mike. Okay, now the tight end blocks. He's going to pin the defensive end. The back is going to gain some depth to pin anybody coming off the edge. And the quarterback is going to gain some depth for a sprint out. So in other words, he has a run-pass option is what he has right now. But again, it's 4th down and 4. So to me, defensively, 4th and 4 to me means pass. And so I can see why they blitz. I mean, but a lot of times our top blitzmen blitzing from outside in. Now for the corners, I highlighted my 2 boys right now. You see the word levels behind them? They should be on different levels. Normally you tell the guy on the line of scrimmage, press him. So Mike needs to back off. So they should be saying, hey, alert pick, alert crossers. I'm going to back up to 5 yards deep and run a catch technique. I'm not going to backpedal at all. But see, right now, they're on the same level. That's why this play works. So the outside receiver picked Mike. He got pinned by Mike in the corner. Now the receiver's wide open. So I know this is being corrected this week.
And so you say play on different levels. Can these guys ever trade or shake it out?
They can. They both were backed up and said, we're going to play in and out. We're going to play banjo. It's going to be 2-on-2. It's like playing basketball in the backyard. So in other words, they're going to try to cross and pick us. Hey, I got your guy. You got my guy. So they both could have backed off at 6 yards deep, flat-footed, cross-keyed. As soon as the number one guy went inside, Mike would have taken him. And then the other guy went outside. Then your freshman corner would have taken him. So it's different ways to play those situations because they are in zero coverage right now. In other words, Michigan has an out blitz. So you're on your own. And so those are some tools in the toolbox. I can tell you right now that they're probably talking about after the fact. So we're getting ready for those buck ducks down there in Ohio, you know. So we're ready to roll. I'm going to call them no Buckeyes. They buck ducks. Here we go. But again, that was a key situation, 4th and 3. Again, sprint alert, pick alert.
Now,
so get ready to see this play again versus the buck ducks down there in that foreign state up there.
Now, did they get away with one, no, Vance?
In my honest opinion, the official could have called that, but you know what? They want to see points. I mean, they getting hammered so bad, you know, physically, they had to give them something. I'm listening to the announcer, oh, Rutgers all physical. They're getting after Michigan. Man, they should let me call a game. Them people had no idea what they were talking about. You had a block punt, and that was it. I don't know why they paying those guys, Sam. Why are they paying these announcers? Half the time, I turn my volume off because they make me mad. They probably said the analysts say you should go for it. The analysts hadn't had one coaching job yet. You get on the computer and get you fired.
Hey, so a couple of things. I'm with you on a lot of the commentators. I am absolutely with you. But you know what they were talking about? It took Michigan 4 downs they were talking about offense. They couldn't run it. They couldn't run it at them early in the game like they're accustomed to running it at people. It took them 4 downs both times to get it in.
When you play Rutgers and Shiano, you know what Shiano is going to do? He is going to blitz you. He's going to blitz you. So he ran blitzes to stop the run. So were people watching the game? Were the announcers talking about how often Shiano was blitzing? Of course they did, because you know why? They don't know that they don't know. It's just that simple. So I'm watching the TV. He blitzing again. Here come another blitz. I mean, so they took away the inside run lanes because he was blitzing a lot. But the announcers never talked about the blitz. Oh, Rutgers really, really physical. They doing it. Man, shut up. That's all I got to tell you. Tell them to shut up. I mean,
hey,
give me a break.
Now, you know Jim said that at halftime he was impressed with how physical Rutgers is.
Of course he had to say that. They were physical because they was blitzing almost every snap. Of course they're going to be physical. I'm looking at the game like, man, here they come again. Here they come again. And they were blitzing inside out. You blitzing inside out to take away all the inside run lanes. There are no cutback lanes. And that's what it was. So eventually, at halftime, they made some adjustments, and if we get these kind of blitzes, this is how we got to adjust to attack what they're doing. And so, again, the offense made a great adjustment at halftime to attack what they were doing blitz-wise. So, I mean, give me a break. I mean, they were physical because, you know, they're bringing that heat. The linebackers, they bringing the safeties and linebackers. I mean, of course they're going to be physical.
All right, let's get into you talked about number 23. He didn't rewrite. They were in quarters. He didn't impede the speed of the receiver, left his safety out to dry, but he came back and had himself a hell of a second half, and it started with this play right here. Quarterback never seemed to see him, Vance.
Yeah, well, you know, it starts with the look. I mean, we're calling this Show 3 Cloud. It's a great look, a great design again, you know, by the defensive staff. If you look at this right now, what coverage you think we're in right now, Sam?
Man, this look like
zero coverage.
It look like zero coverage. Like, yeah, man.
It's like they're bringing the house. If I'm looking at this right now, I'm saying they bringing everybody. And so right now, that's why I call it Show 3 Cloud. So the quarterback, the offensive line, they all see, hey, they're in zero coverage right now. And here's the base route. It's the high school route that I learned back in 1974. All curls and center guy to the flat. So it's an easy read by the quarterback. I call it a West Coast concept. Curl, guy in the flat. the back probably to the bottom would have gone on the flat, but right now he's seeing a blitz look. He's seeing 7 guys up on the line of scrimmage. So right now that kept him in for protection. So now we're going to drop 7 guys and have a 4-man rush. And my back at the top, I mean, you can see curl flat, hook curl, turn it to the fields playing the cloud technique. So in other words, his job is to reroute number 1 and sit in the flat, okay, which I think is a really good design, okay? And now you can see the boundary corner deep third. The other safety on number 3, he's deep middle third. The safety is the line on number 2 to the field, he's deep outside third. So again, we got a show 3 cloud, the quarterback seeing blitz, the tailback seeing blitz, the offensive line seeing blitz. So it's a great disguise on second down and real long. Great drop by the linebacker. Hey, pitch and catch. Pitch and catch. But again, he thought the corner was isolated by himself. Mm-hmm. It's a great job. It's a great design defensively by the defensive staff. I love this look because they got another interception off of the same look.
He thought everybody was coming, man. They dropped 7.
They dropped 7. So again, scheme-wise, coverage-wise, we're doing some things a little bit differently than what we did last year. Last year, I didn't see a lot of these things. Now, some of the basic blitzes I see, but the disguise is so much better this year, and he's doing a few different things coverage-wise that really they've made some nice plays off of this season.
All right, so you are always offering constructive criticism. You offer critique. Now, this was a great effort by the defense. Defense was responsible for 10 points in this game, right? Because they got a punt block and that was a touchdown. The defense did a hell of a job. They gave up 0 points in the second half. But Vance, but you keep pointing out a couple of things that they need to work on. One of them is the fade boss.
Okay, we're gonna look at a man JT at the top. Okay, so. And I know a lot of people's talking about what the safety did. I'm not going to talk about the safety. See, Jay, this is a great job now. See, right now, watch his left hand. You want got JT in trouble?
DJ.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was his left hand. Watch his left hand come. Always turn his left hand. It gets him behind. So now the guy has a step on him. See, once you open your hips, you should never bring an opposite hand up. And then right now, left hand. No, don't touch him with that right hand. Don't touch him. So that locks his hip. And that's when he gets a step on. And I just keep running and wall them off, run them out of bounds.
So Vance, so clearly here he wanted to impede him some.
Yeah, but see right now, stop right there. Go back. I don't know if you can go back or not. Right here, stop. See, right to me, when he puts that left hand on him,
I'll pause.
That's what gets him in trouble. Once your hips open up, never say left hand, you can't do that. Because number 1, they can call holding, which it is. But number 2, it slows them down. So with his right hand, just keep widening. The guys are watching Georgia and Tennessee. Same situation. The corner, I mean, it was clinic. He got that inside hand. He widened him, got on top, ran him out of bounds, and got an interception.
See, now, the dude you talking about, I think is the best corner in the country. You talking about Keely Ringo.
Well, I'll tell you what I saw was clinic. What I'm saying right now is not clinic. He didn't use that outside hand. He got the inside stab, then he climbed him and walled him and intercepted. What my man Turner's doing, he puts that left hand on him, that gets him in trouble all the time. That's been his problem. When you open your hips up, don't try to now get both hands on him, because what it does, it locks your hips up. And that guy will always get a step on you right now. And that's what's happening to him with technique. And let's talk real ball. You'd rather see a defensive back in the NFL or a top college program won't get both hands on the receivers. If they do, that receiver should not be on scholarship. I'm just being honest with you. He should not be on scholarship because that means the guy can't run. But see, Turner, again, he's playing a bigger guy. He gets in trouble because he puts his left hand on him. And now, you know what? The next thing, a coaching point is, you don't look back, which he's doing. You look up. When you look back, your body, your head is the heavy part of your body, you're going to drift inside, which causes separation. You look up and it drops your shoulder, and now you stay in phase with the receiver. But he got in trouble with his left hand. Then he looked back. You can see when he looked back, he did what? He slowed down.
Mhm.
When he looks back, not up, he slows down. Watch this. See how he's slowing down? Gets him in trouble. So his technique with his playing with his outside hand, trying to get that jam, then he looked back instead of looking up, he's in trouble. Again, that's technique things that could be cleaned up.
Mhm.
But again, like I said, if you make the guy dance and he gets the inside hand and make him widen, he did his job. But instead, he wanted to get the outside hand on him. All he did is release the guy to get vertical on him. He got him in trouble.
Mhm.
Sam, you know how to dance, right?
Hey man.
Playing cornerback is like dancing. I mean, you got to move your feet with the receiver. If you don't move your feet with the receiver, you always behind. So if you out there dancing and your woman out there dancing and your stepped off, she gonna leave you and go find a different partner. Well, guess what just happened to Turner? He got left at the front door because he moved his feet. I'm just saying, that's all.
Vance, I must say, you definitely make it resonate. You definitely paint a mental picture. You definitely give a great explanation for why things happen.
You
We
know
saw
who Ty Law is, right?
I absolutely don't know who Ty Law is.
Okay, we playing. I'm in Chicago country. I'm watching Ty Law. They're in pregame warm-ups. So Ty Law is working his press technique with one hand behind his back. He's pressed inside technique. One thing, using a proper hand and playing with good footwork. And then he goes to the other side, put the other hand behind his back. So he knows right now I don't want to use this hand because this hand he's gonna get me in trouble. I mean, so me watching a Pro Bowl player, it gave me another drill to work on. I used to start teaching defensive backs with both hands behind the back. Now you use one hand and make sure you use the proper technique. So there's different ways to teach guys on what to play and how to do it.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, this is all talk about Ohio State. These guys overall played an outstanding defensive game again. But you about to see the elite of the elite, right? And so
Yes, you are.
this is all to get ready for that. But it was good to see this young fella number 2, Will Johnson,
Well, guess
get
what
his
defense
first
is
one.
this, Sam? This is show 3 cloud again. What do you see in the back end? Zero coverage. What do you see up front? You see 7 guys from the blitz you. Same defense. We got an interception on a little bit before. But you know what? A little bit different. Now my corner a little bit tighter. Watch this. See everybody's dropping. High point the ball. That is a nice job. I like this young kid. He needs to get a little bit stronger in the weight room, but athletically, right? You know what he look like right now? That's how Charles Wilson looked when he was a freshman. He was wearing number 2. Just like that. He looks just like Wood. I look at him how I point that ball. That is nice. That is nice. But he needs to get in the weight room. He needs to get a little bit stronger. But that is a big time play. You know, I hate to say this. My man Green got hurt because the gangsters of Michigan State did a man. But, man, sometimes, boy, you miss out and somebody step up, but you might not ever get back.
Well,
That's a
and if
scary
nothing else,
thing.
man, it helps improve the depth. 'Cause they
Yeah, he might,
definitely need
he
need some
might be
depth.
on the depth coming off the bench for a long time watching this kid play. He's one of those guys like, hey, I'm not giving this back.
Well, so here's the thing. When you face Ohio State, you got Marvin Harrison, you got Emeka Egbuka, you got Julian Fleming, all those like 4 or 5-star guys, and I ain't even mentioned Jackson Smith and Jigba. They got at least 4 dudes. At least 4. So you better. My point is, you better have a lot of dudes who can cover. You talk
Well,
about
I know
Ohio
one thing.
State.
You know the best way to cover guys? There's 2 ways to cover guys. The first thing, if your offense is eating up the clock and your defense on the sideline, that's number 1. And number 2 is that I got Big Mike rushing the passer for me, give me about 4 or 5 sacks. I'm good. I'm not worried. Big Mike got him on, got CJ or whatever his name on his backside. I'm good. So the offense, give me some ground chuck like they've been doing, and Big Mike and the boys. Come on, let's go eat, fellas. Let's go eat.
Well, they certainly ate, and they ate well. 52-17 was the final score. 3 points in the last 4 games. This defense has given up 3. I don't care what you think of the opposition. That is impressive. That is impressive against 4 different football teams. One of them being Penn State, who you saw moving the ball up and down the field on those Buckeyes. At any rate, that'll do it for this edition of the film study. As I say all the time, we do not own this footage. And because we do not own this footage, it is not monetized. It has no sponsorship. We do this for you, the people, your entertainment, your education, and your edification. I say that so the copyright owners know we are staying within the rules. If you want to support us, you can do so in other ways. You can like this video and subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get a notification every time we do another video. Of course, you want to find everything we do, from the podcast to the videos to all the written content, football, basketball, and recruiting VIP intel on the message board. Go to themichiganinsider.com. Get signed up. $1 gets you in your first month, get you access to all of that and all of the sites on the 24/7 Sports Network. Whatever college team you want to follow, have intel on, you can get it for $1 that first month. When you become a full paying member after that, your subscription will also include access to Paramount Plus. It is great bang for your buck. Of course, folks, we love to see you around here checking us out on the Michigan Football Film Study. I'll be back with Vance next week, breaking down those Cornhuskers, Vance. That's over in your neck of the woods out there, right?
Boy, them corn dogs, they got no chance. They got no chance whatsoever, man. I mean, I'm going to call it 48-9. I don't give them 3 field goals. I'm being polite.
Got you. Hey, man, I'm actually pulling for Mickey Joseph.
I'm pulling for Mickey too, but you know what? It's like, you know why I can't win the lottery? Because I'm not going to put no money down. I got no chance. So for Nebraska, it's like you go and play the lottery versus Michigan. The problem is they put no money down. They got no chance.
No chance.
Unless the offense decides to turn the ball over 10 times, I'm calling 48-9.
Well, folks, you have a chance to understand what happened in the game because you'll be back here next week on another edition of the Michigan Football Film Study focused on the defense with Vance Bedford. We'll see you then.
Go Blue.